as you said, I'm going to be certified to teach history, world history, social studies. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of images or anything for you guys today. I do have a handout so you can kind of follow along with notes, all that good stuff. We will have a short quiz afterwards, but keep in mind, it's not for your class, okay? So it's okay if you totally bomb it. It's really for my class. So, and then we'll also do a short essay question after that. But otherwise, I'm going to be covering kind of like post-War of 1812, which I understand you guys kind of just finished covering. So, what? Right there? Kind of right here. But we'll go through that, and then we also just kind of have some short activities to do together. I have 11 handouts, so a few of you might have to share the handout, which again, it's not for your school, so you don't have to worry if you don't have one.
If I'm at
Everybody comfortable sharing this thing?
Do you want me to make more copies?
What's that?
Do you want me to make more copies?
It's okay, it's not. As long as I can follow. Here, let me give you guys one today. Okay, so first we're going to start out here. I've got what's called an excerpt from an address. This is from President James Monroe. It's his annual address. This is actually from 1823, so we're already well past the War of 1812. But I think it's just kind of an encapsulation of like how the country was feeling and what we were trying to accomplish after the War of 1812. So we'll kind of start out with that. I'm going to read. You guys don't have to read it. It is impossible to mistake the signs of the times. The United States have now a settled character and will be in a position to carry on their own affairs. The time has come when we should look on our own resources, to our own manufacturers, to our own agriculture, to our own commerce. The War of 1812 has made us more aware of our dependence on these internal capabilities. And it is therefore important that we encourage all that can promote the national prosperity as well as the strength and security of the Union. So, it's kind of a semi-boring paragraph, but really what he's just trying to say is after the War of 1812, the United States really starts to focus on itself, how we can improve our infrastructure, that's railroads, roads, water canals, all these different things. Basically so that we can, number one, manufacture more, but also ship out of the United States. We're also going to see some things, strengthening the military, all that good stuff, which we'll get into. But yeah, just wanted to start out with that, give you guys a feel for the times. So we have a few preview questions on here, and it's just something to keep in mind kind of as we go through the lesson. How do you think the War of 1812 affected the U.S. relationship with other countries? How do you think a national bank might help the United States grow stronger after the War of 1812? And we'll kind of revisit these a little later. Why do you think building roads, canals, and railroads might be important for a country trying to grow its economy? Now, the next part here, we're actually just going to do a show of hands. And this is kind of to test your guys' knowledge a little bit, but really it's for me, just to kind of see where you're at. So I'm going to read off kind of a statement. If you agree with it, just raise your hand. If you don't agree with it, just keep your hand down, okay? So the United States had to make big changes after the War of 1812 to become stronger. The American plan focused on improving the economy and building a stronger government. After the War of 1812, the United States focused on expanding its territory. The The national bank was a key part of the American plan to help the United States economy. Okay, we'll work on the bank a little bit. The United States' relationship with other countries were not affected by the War of 1812. Internal improvements like building roads and canals were important for the country's growth after the war. Okay, cool. So again, that's just kind of an anticipation guide, and it's really just meant to give me an idea of where you guys are at. So, okay, so what we're gonna do, you guys are already at tables, so this is kind of nice. But what I'm gonna have you guys do is answer this question. It's the Think, Pair, Share section, if you guys can see that. Okay, so I'll just read the question for you guys. And what I want you guys to do is just come up with an answer for your table, okay? And it doesn't need to be perfect. Again, I haven't even started with the real lesson yet, so it's just kind of measuring where you guys are at. So the question's gonna be, and you can have just one person write it down, read it, I'll just go table to table. I'll give you a few minutes to answer it. The question's gonna be, how do you think a national bank affects roads, canals, and railroads? Why would it affect the economy? And why would it be important to the military? And, I'm sure you guys know, obviously a bank lends out money. So, just a short answer, doesn't need to be super detailed, but why do you guys think that's important?
Build all those tools. You gotta write it, so you're the only one with a pencil. I have a portable pencil.
Where do I write it?
Just do it under notes.
What do I write?
It lends our legs so we can source funds.
Yeah.
Anybody not have an answer yet? Sweet, I'll just start with you guys since you're closest. Anybody have a reason why a bank might be important for all those things?